It has to be when
Cacao.
Prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down a swish in front of your building. Sitting on the steps, feeling no feelings. Last night it was a cold killing. You gotta keep the devil in his hole, nigga. But you know how it go, nigga. I'm front line every time.
So we'll kick things off by touching on some cricket news. Steyn and Hashim Amla just retired from international cricket. They've got some amazing stats. The Steyn remover had 439 test wickets, 196 ODI wickets, and 61 T20 wickets over his career. Let's start with him. What do you think he'll be remembered for going forward?
Do you wanna kick it off?
Okay. Basically, well, he's the leading wicket taker in SA Test, so I mean he goes down as one of the best, if not the best, Test bowler from SA. He holds the record for being number one, the longest in the world. So I feel like we really lost a very major player, but it was time. You know, injuries have been plaguing him, and things just weren't going well. So I think he retired at, I'm not going to say the right time, because, you know, he actually didn't get a chance to go out there and take wickets and then say, okay, I'm retiring, because he was injured the whole World Cup. But yeah, man, we all knew it was going to happen, and yeah, it finally has happened. It's opening the door for younger players to come in, younger players who have been knocking on the door. So yeah, he will be missed, but, you know, every team has to go through restructuring, and this is the time actually for SA.
Yeah. I think I'm covered by Jimmy. It's two huge losses for South African cricket. I mean, Dale Steyn is up there with the likes of Alan Donald. I'm excited to see what Kuyasha Media is going to do now. You know, it's a good opportunity for him to take that hot seat. Dale Steyn for the longest time has been one of the bowlers that we look to. Hashim Amla as well as a batsman, you know, it's a huge loss. But I mean, age as well, you know. It's a bit sad that they can't leave like Shaq Cullis.
Yeah.
When Shaq Cullis retired, he was still on form. You could tell that he still has like a season or two on him, you know. But I mean, it's overall we have to move forward as South African cricket, and hopefully one get a World Cup eventually. It's not gonna happen.
I mean, even for me, a casual cricket fan, I mean, it's undoubtable what they've contributed to the squad nation-wise. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, maybe cricket is just a whole different sport, but I hear the chess going to the side left, like is going to be missed, but it doesn't seem like now with Hashim out, with Dale Steyn out, is there still like old cricket players that they can sort of like nurture the young ones coming in, or in cricket is that not a big thing?
I mean, you do need those senior players, but at the end of the day, like Graham Smith is the youngest captain SA has ever had. I think he started captaining at 22, 23. So it just depends on the players at the end of the day. You know, what do you want to contribute to SA cricket? Where do you want your name to be by the time you leave? So whether they are senior players or not, it's just actually depends on each individual player going into that setup, what they want to do. And they do have some senior players. Faf is still in the system.
Yeah.
So I think he can still nurture the young guys, you know. There are people who are being groomed for leadership in the future. You know, Malcolm has captained the team before.
Yeah.
I see him being a future captain of SA. So I don't think really having a lot of senior players was going to do much justice, because they have been around. And our results haven't been favorable with them in the team. And they haven't been performing at their standards. So it's about time Hash retires. Actually, like I've been saying Hash should retire from Test, you know.
Yeah.
But he tried. He played for as long as he can. Didn't have a successful World Cup, and I think he just knew that, okay, I'm not gonna be here for the next World Cup, so might as well just hang up my boots now.
Yeah.
Okay. With Hashim running out, I mean, he's leaving with over 9,000 runs in Test appearances, 8,000 runs in ODIs. Who replaces his mantle going forward for SA?
It's a tough one.
That's a very tough one. That's because with Hash was like the quickest to get to 5,000 runs, 6,000 runs, 7,000 runs. I think from 5 to 9,000 runs. So having that type of player in your system who at any given day can give you 100, can just take over a test match, take over a test series, it's really hard. Because when he also came into the team, he wasn't really that player, you know. He had a few performances that were up and down, more downs than up. People didn't want him in the team. And, you know, he just stuck to what he does, you know, and it worked for him over the long period of time. And now he goes down as also one of the best cricket batsmen SA has ever had.
Especially like since he was an open, I think that would be the most difficult thing for South Africa is who now you find that can open the way that Hashim Amla used to put you on the front foot. The likes of Quinton de Kock, I don't really see him being, I don't know, like taking hundreds as an opener all the time. So first of all, I don't think you can replace Hashim Amla, to be honest with you. Cricketers like that come around once in a while, so I don't think, but I think they'll go through, to answer your question really, I think they'll go through what the Springboks went through when all of the senior players retired, and I think we saw it at the World Cup especially. The locker room starts changing because now you've got a lot of youngsters that have looked up to people who've just all left the locker room, you know, who's going to be there for the emotional stability. When the likes of Victor Matfield retired from the Springboks, you saw a lot of bad performances. We even lost to Italy, Japan, you know, so they might have a period like that. But I think that there's enough talent in the Proteas for them to move forward maybe after like a year or two, to be honest with you.
So in the next World Cup, which is 4 years from now, do you think we'll have a team that's able to compete?
I don't think we'll have a team that's ready to compete because the other teams are miles ahead, you know. Australia lost 2 of their top batsmen and they went through a slump, but now they get to the World Cup and they made it all the way to semi-finals, you know. It just depends, you know. You have those 2 players in the team who can spark anything and change what has been happening for the last 18 months. I don't think SA has that X-factor player just yet. Maybe Rabada in 4 years' time will be more confident, you know, he'll be used to that spotlight, and he can do something going forward. But cricket is a batsman's game right now, and I don't see any of our batsmen coming up and putting their hand up and saying, okay, I'm going to lead the attack this whole World Cup, you know, I'm going to get us to that place. Whereas with Australia, they have those players. With England, they had those players. India has those players. And with them, they have a more open door system. So you see new talents coming in and out in those 3 teams. Whereas with SA, you don't really see that because they don't give youngsters that much of a chance unless you are brilliant, like Kuyasha Media when he came into the system, you know. He knocked the door down and said, I want to be in this team, and look at him now, he's number 1 test bowler in the world. But to say we're going to compete for the next World Cup, I don't think so. Probably 8 years time, we never know, but not next World Cup.
So we skip the next one and then
look, you just plan for the following one, you know. You don't see us saying, okay, we're planning for this World Cup. Now plan for the following World Cup, get your things correct, have a plan, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to be by this time, and you know, things can work out. But I don't see, with the players that we have and the players that are playing first class cricket right now and the youngsters coming up, I don't see us challenging for a World Cup in 4 years time.
What about the T20 World Cup?
Even worse. That's even worse. I'm sorry. That's even worse.
I don't know, man. We had that open in the World Cup against England that sort of like looked winnable, but I mean, you lose it, then it happens. Then we sort of like the next 2-3 games that looked. Our games weren't really. Looks like we're in there. Some of them, like maybe half of them, were in there. We could have won. So don't you think that's a positive sign, given the injuries that we had also? I think Hashim Amla was out for some time as well. Was the bowler that was out? Ngidi was out for some time as well, so we missed him as well. So maybe with a fully healthy squad, with Hashim Amla out, saying that maybe we can get someone to maybe come in, surprise us with the batting. Hey,
look, at the end of the day, it's just who puts their hand up and says, I want to do this in this game, you know. You need that player who's going to consistently do that for you, and we didn't have that player in our World Cup. So our performances weren't atrocious. Some of them were bad, but they weren't atrocious, you know. We were getting plus 250, plus 200 in the games.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't back it up, you know, when we're bowling or when we're batting and chasing. So, yeah.
But
Yeah,
we were
look,
atrocious.
I think my
we lost to Bangladesh.
I think my view is obviously the disclaimer of a casual cricket fan.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think if Faf was a little bit more consistent with his batting, I mean, there were some games where he should have gotten to 50, should have at least pushed for 100 at least. In some games, like if Faf was more consistent with his batting, I think we could have really tried. We could have really tried in that in the World Cup. So maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know, we'll see.
you can say that for any team, you know.
Yeah.
If India didn't get bowled out for 125 in the semi-final,
Sure, yeah.
they would have won. So all these ifs and buts, you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
But I think most of our problems are tactical. I don't see why Imran Tahir was our opener. For me, it doesn't make sense. You know, you want to put people on the back foot. Get someone who they'll fear as a batsman. Get like someone like Rabat out. Open with him, and then later on, you know, bring on the likes of Tahir. But I mean, he was our best player in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I can't take too much away from him. But
Yeah.
I think also Faf de Klerk needs to, I don't know, man, as a captain. So like for instance, so like for instance, you check Graham Smith in Test cricket. He had bad games a lot of times, but he was always a captain that people could look to. You know, even if he was out for 30, but as a captain, he could always lead from the front. So I think also Faf needs to get into it. You know, start leading with an iron fist. That okay, gents, this is this kind of game, and this is how we should tackle it.
Okay.
All right.